I already gave you some tips on how to boost your manifestation, and I do have another one this time. It is another top secret one that you probably haven't heard anywhere before.
Of my love, Janine, I'm helpless for your smile.
I already went into anchoring in the last video, so please make sure you watch that if you haven't seen that yet, because I talk more in detail about that. But our mind cannot differentiate if things happen simultaneously that they're not connected. For example, you have an accident and a specific song is on the radio, your brain won't know that those two are not connected. You know, when you have the accident, you've been in shock, you're extremely stressed, maybe even in physical pain. And the stronger the emotion, the shock, the pain is, of course, the more we are in that moment open to be reprogrammed. Because the stronger the emotion, the bigger the impression in the subconscious mind. And if a specific song was on the radio, you listen to the specific song, then those are for your brain intertwined. Your conscious mind knows that's not related. I had a car accident because the guy before me didn't step on the brake and that song just happened to be on the radio. But for your subconscious mind, it's like cause and effect, they're related now. So if you later on listen to that song, if that comes on the radio, you may not consciously have connected those, but your subconscious mind will all of a sudden react with stress and you will feel uneasy, maybe your heart rate will go up and you feel signs of stress, and maybe you won't even know why, or you just realize after some time, okay, that song gives me a bad feeling. Maybe you consciously remember, yeah, it was the song that was playing back then, but it doesn't have to be, it might be purely subconscious. So when your brain cannot differentiate between the feeling of the accident with the song, so your brain cannot differentiate between any emotion and something else that happens that we sense simultaneously. It could be a smell, it could be a sound, it could be anything. We can use that to our advantage. So one thing I figured out that I sometimes do before I do my affirmations or reading, I like scripting often, reading what I've wrote, visualizing. I don't visualize often, I have to say. I'd rather just meditate and get into the state of the visual field, or I script, or sometimes I use affirmations. Those are my go-to tools. What I sometimes do is I actively get me into a good mood, like not just good mood, a very positive emotional mood. And how do I do that? YouTube. But I have to say, this technique will not be good for anyone. I think it will be good for most of you, but it depends on, for example, also how well you react to success stories. I love success stories, but I've heard that some people get triggered by success stories. I think it's more like a minority because not many people I talked to had that happen. They often felt like inspired. But if you felt triggered by success stories, well, then you should really do Ho'oponopono or the revision technique, because that means that you've got still programs running that encounter what you want to manifest, and you most likely won't be able to manifest your desire unless you take care of those programmings first, the limiting beliefs. You can do that with revision Ho'oponopono, for example. So if you get triggered by what I'm saying now, that means you do have strong programs. You are not anywhere close to your desire coming, and I'm sorry for being blunt. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to push you forward, because if you're wondering where your desire is, that may be the block, and now you know and you can take care of it. But what I sometimes do is I watch YouTube videos that get me into a very, very good mood. Sometimes even related to what I want to manifest, but not all the time. What do I mean by that? For example, you want to manifest getting a specific gift. Then you can look for videos for people receiving something. And it could be like a homeless person that receives some kind of big gift. Or it could be, I saw an older person, like a grandparent, getting a puppy or a kitten, and they were no longer alone because now they had that creature to take care of. Or if you want to manifest someone coming back, there are so many videos of soldiers. And me as a pacifist, of course, I am absolutely opposed to war. I don't like the American attitude of going to other countries to try to oppress them. We all know the number one export of the United States are weapons, unfortunately, so I'm absolutely opposed to that. I don't like anything war related, starting with camouflage or anything. But still, those videos, they're extremely touching. You know, when somebody comes back and you have somebody being surprised, or they're at the airport and then that person is coming, they make me cry every time. I'm a crier, I admit it. I can't even watch a movie without crying. I cry in the happy scenes and the sad scenes simultaneously. So watching this kind of videos where people have extreme strong emotions make me very emotional as well. And yeah, as I said, I cry with them. And when you're done, after you hyped yourself up, go to your visualization or reading what you've scripted or your affirmations, your subconscious mind will not be able to differentiate between the emotion you're feeling and the thing you are trying to manifest. So those are linked. It's like cheating, basically. You could say it's cheating. You use something else to get you into the emotion, and then you use that emotion and shift it onto what you want to desire to get you into that state. It does work. One reason why it works is that our subconscious mind cannot differentiate between something we ourselves experience or something we observe somebody else experience. Both scenarios, just the observing or the experiencing, will activate the same neurons in our brains. Why everyone is as pushed out. So if somebody else experiences something, part of us experiences it too, because we created that scene, either by living it ourselves or by observing it, but it is always our creation. Of course, we react to it. So that is something you can try. However, if you watch those videos, if you really miss someone and then watching the videos gets you into the bad feeling of like, oh my god, now I miss them even more, don't do that. Then I would not suggest you to try to manifest that person in the first place. For a while, I would rather suggest to clear the blockages, work on your self-concept, and then actively try to manifest your person. You've got some work to do before you get there, if you have strong encountering programs. But if you are somebody who also feels good and who can generally be happy for other people who are you pushed out, then use that emotion and transfer it onto what you want to manifest. And yeah, because watching those kind of videos will get you into the state of connecting with someone you love or receiving something you really wanted, and then you can use that. I'm pretty sure you haven't heard that one anywhere before, and if I'm right about that, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I should have made a bet in the beginning, right? I bet I'll tell you something you haven't heard before, and if you really haven't, then you have to subscribe and like. Well, if I won my bet, do your part, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and maybe I'll see you in personal coaching or in another video. Until then, I do wish you all the best now. Bye bye. If you want to book your own custom-made affirmation or subliminal, you will find my contact information in the description box below.